Good afternoon and welcome to the latest Business Spotlight interview series. I've got Matthew Shears from UP3. Matthew, how are you doing?
I'm great, Sanjeev, thanks. Yeah, great to be here. Good to talk to you.
Excellent. Well, thanks for your time. Well, let's get straight into it. Do you want me to call you Matt or Matthew?
Matt's fine.
Matt, great. Matt, tell us a bit more about you, the business, how you got into it, and where you've got to.
Okay, no problem. So we're UP3. We're an elite partner of a company called ServiceNow, who are a software vendor that have a process automation platform. So we help organizations, mostly large organizations of say 5,000 people plus, to automate processes across various business functions. So IT, HR, finance, and more now we're automating processes in functions that might be very particular to a business, such as a law firm, who may have secretarial or admin services that they're providing to lawyers, and we're helping them to automate those processes as well. We're about 50 people. We derive our revenues from implementing the software platform and then managing it on behalf of our customers. And we also build products on the platform as well. So we build our own automation products on the platform, and then sell those direct to customers. And right. we're having a good time doing it.
Yeah, Matt, you explained to me what UP3 stands for. Might be worth just spelling that out.
Sure. Yeah. So it's understanding people, processes, and platforms. And it's UP3. It's the power of three, but it wasn't. It didn't look so good on paper.
Nice, really good. So Matt, you and I met 7 years ago now, when you just started the business, and incredible growth in 7 years. Tell us a bit more about the journey.
I think we've been, without taking anything away from our team and the business that we've built, I think we've been very lucky to have backed a software vendor and the platform that they provide, who've been hugely successful. They're now a multi-billion-dollar organization out of the US. So they've created a real bow wave of opportunity. But for us, we've been in this business before, so we had some experience of working with this software vendor and some of the types of customers that we work with today. But we were really focused on, when we set UP3 up in 2016, we really knew what we wanted to do. We knew there was a real opportunity to go into this marketplace as a managed service provider and provide capability to customers, around this great software platform, to really allow them to kind of leverage the investment that they've made in it. And that's what we've done. And we've done two things, I think, really, really well, which have been pivotal to our success, which is become a very customer-centric organization, and focus entirely on the outcomes that we deliver for our customers, but most importantly, build a fantastic team. We've always been very particular about people that we want to bring into this organization. That it's a prerequisite that they need to have the skills and the experience in the business that we work in, be that business process skills or technical skills, but it's also they need to fit with our values, and they need to be able to work in an environment that is challenging, but also very much about the team, and looking out for each other, and doing the right thing by our customers. And they're all values that we absolutely live by day to day.
Clearly served you well. What challenges, if any, have you faced in that journey?
Lots.
I pick some highlights.
Yeah, sometimes it's quite difficult to. I mean, clearly we had a pandemic for 2 years. That was pretty challenging. We went from, at the time, we were probably about 15 to 20 people in the business, and pretty much overnight, right, we all started to work remotely. Now, as a tech business, we were already used to having that blended approach of working in an office versus working remotely. So it wasn't too difficult for us to adapt to that. But it was the unknown. We didn't know what was going to happen to our customers. We didn't know what was going to happen to the economy at a kind of macro level, and what impact this was going to have. So that was certainly a a worrying time in terms of the uncertainty, but we grew through the pandemic. Our business grew. We were very successful. We acquired more customers. We had customers that went through some challenges themselves because their business types of business they got severely hit. There's always challenges with scaling, with growth. Finding good people has been probably the one challenge that started from day one all the way through to now and continues, is finding good people that not only have the skills I talked about, but also that will fit with our values.
Yeah.
And that's ongoing. And new challenges present themselves every day. We're now a business of 50 plus, and we're looking to kind of scale to the next level. And that brings a whole another set of challenges from being, was perhaps a startup to now actually becoming a business with, people, processes that need to be, more formalized, systems that need to be put in place or matured, and everything that you have to do in order to grow.
Great. And I guess that's meant also a shift in your role and your co-founder's role, Ruth's role, and maybe even a shift in the kind of identity, in the business. Do you want to just kind of give us a feel for what that journey's been like?
Yeah, it's a really great question, and it's something that we were actually talking to someone around that's been helping us with some of the scaling. That when you start out, you have an idea, you have a kind of entrepreneurial idea, right? There's an opportunity here, and we really want to go and capture that and execute on it. You start to build a team of people around you that are also hopefully as enthusiastic as you are, to get it off the ground and go out and acquire customers, right? In the early days, it's all about customer acquisition. Let's just go and find some customers that we can work with, prove ourselves, and figure out what it is that we're really good at and how we're going to demonstrate that to more customers. Then you start to build a team, and you have to start bringing some formality in, some processes, better communication. But eventually you get to a level where that changes completely, and you have to put a management team in place, and that management team then has to manage the operations of the business. And for Ruth and I, it's about being able to communicate properly with that management team in terms of the vision and the strategy and the execution. And for them to be able to go away and make that happen, and then and get the team behind that. So the role of the founders of the business changes very much, and the way that the business operates changes very much as well. And it's, for me, I think Ruth adapts better to that than I do, to be honest with you. She's more, I'm the commercial side of the business, she's the operational side of the business, but I think she adapts very well to that. Sometimes that's been harder through that process for me. But I think the combination of what I'm very grateful for, and I hope she feels the same way, is to have somebody that is has a very complementary skill set. I think that's been instrumental in our success and the growth we've been able to achieve.
Great. That's a really useful picture you painted of kind of stepping from doing the jobs in the business to the management to it sounds like leadership kind of focus.
Yeah, I think so. And it's on the business versus in the business versus on the business, isn't it? And being really honest about it, I think we're still trying to get to that being on the business. We're still very much involved in the day-to-day, and that makes sometimes finding time for looking at it more strategically and making important decisions is harder because you're too involved in some of the day-to-day. So the next step for us as we continue to scale will be, how do we get ourselves working on the business rather than in it day to day?
Right, fantastic. So what does the future look like for you, and what's the end you've got in mind, Matt? If you got a view you can share.
I think the future looks really positive because we're in a market that, as I said, ServiceNow, the vendor we work with, is doing very, very well. I think there's a lot of competition in our market. There's been a lot of change, and when I say competition, we've got competition from smaller specialist organizations that are like ourselves, right up to big systems integrators and service providers who are well-known brands, who are all competing in this market space because there's a lot of opportunity there. So I don't think that will change. I think the vendor themselves is changing. You know, ServiceNow, compared to when we started working to them, they're 20,000 people today. You know, they were less than probably 1,000 people globally when we started working with them pre-UP3. So, you know, that brings its own challenges in terms of working with a vendor that is now a big corporate, and, you know, behaves like that as well. And, you know, finding the right stakeholders in there and continuing to maintain those relationships so that we can leverage the relationship for the growth of our own business is always challenging. But I think scaling up is everything for us now. It's what we're really focused on, because we know that we know what our differentiators are. We know what our ideal customers are. We're pretty clear about those things. And if we focus on those, then we'll continue to scale the business. And most importantly, I think we want to keep enjoying it. You know, we want to enjoy the process of doing this. You know, whatever that outcome might be, we want to enjoy it. And, you know, we think that there's an opportunity here that we can capture, and we want to, you know, we want to do that as successfully as we possibly can.
Okay, well, enjoy the journey, not just focus on the destination.
Exactly.
Really good. So Matt, if there's any lessons learned that really stand out for you that you can share. You've talked a lot about team and culture and the right people and a focus on really delivering value to the customer. Is there anything else that might you know help our audience?
Focus, I think. Know what you're good at doing and focus on that. Be known for doing something really well. I in my experience of looking at other businesses and, you know, and in our own business to some extent, it's very easy to, you know, to get distracted by other things or pivot into something which is, you know, because you think that's the right thing to do. And in actual fact, I think if you really want to be successful, focus and prove yourself in one area. Do that really, really well. And it may be that pivoting is the right thing to do at you know, a particular point in time. But, you know, don't start trying to diversify too quickly, because I just don't think it works.
Yeah, it reminds me of the quote by Seth Godin, you know, the marketeer. Inch deep, inch wide, mile deep is a secret to success. So, and I think your business has proven that approach, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that, you know, now we have the managed services. What we do really, really well, you know, we provide a capability to our clients around this whole platform, so they don't have to build that capability themselves. And there's a multitude of reasons why they wouldn't necessarily want to do that. The biggest one being it's not their core business. But I think that, you know, we really know that we're good at managed service. We've got great customers, we've got great references. We know that the market is ready for it as well, and that's where we're super focused now.
All right, good. So just to wrap up this conversation, Matt, if you were thinking about advice to your you know younger self, the 20-something-old, what would you say to
them? Stop drinking so much, maybe. No. I think exactly as we just said a second ago, enjoy the process and don't just focus on the outcome. You know, don't just focus on the destination. I think that's easy. That's a lot easier to say when you're a bit older and perhaps you've got that experience and you've been through a few processes. But definitely, you know, the outcome is you need to understand the outcome that you're trying to get to, but enjoy the process of getting there. You know, we've really enjoyed what we've been doing, and we continue to enjoy it. And, you know, we've got a fantastic team around us that enjoy what they're doing as well. And it's for Ruth and I, it's about creating an environment where, you know, we've got great customers that team can work with and be challenged by and develop their skills through that experience. And I think that definitely be the advice I would have given my 20-something self, is enjoy the process.
Great. Listen, that's a great note to end on. Matt, thanks so much. Really enjoyed this conversation. There's some good insights there for everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, Sanjeev. Good to talk to you.